Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. They say that wonders will never end, and that is what we've been experiencing in Nigeria. Some very unthinkable, unbelievable issues coming up, and you're just wondering, are people really thinking before they go ahead to propose certain things? Right now, it is a crime for you to pay any amount when you are being abducted. And it's something that the Senate has proposed right away. We are going to look at what kind of crime it will be and the punitive measures that have been given already for anyone who pays ransom. Whether you like it or not, you must not pay ransom. So anyhow, you can liaise with the police or liaise with the security agencies to see how you can get your person back. Is just your business. But if you dare try to do anything like payment, there is a punitive measure right now that the government have rolled out, though it is still undergoing, Senate review. But before we give you full details of these and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. All right, let's look at what the government is saying. According to the news, the Senate on Wednesday have considered a bill that seeks to prohibit the payment and receipt of ransom for the release of any person kidnapped, imprisoned, or wrongly confined. The Terrorism Prevention Amendment Bill 2021, which scales second reading during plenary, is sponsored by Senator Ezenwa Francis Onyewuchi. Leading debate on the bill, the lawmakers say the piece of legislation seeks to amend the Terrorism Prevention Act 2013 to outlaw the payment of ransom to abductors, kidnappers, and terrorists for the release of any person who has been wrongly confined in prison or abducted. According to Onyewuchi, the bill is essentially seek to substitute for Section 14 of the Principal Act a new section to read, and I quote, he said, anyone who transfer funds, make payment, or collude with an abductor, kidnapper, or terrorist to receive any ransom for the release of any person who has been wrongly confined in prison or kidnapped is guilty of a felony and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment of not less than 15 years. He raised alarm that kidnapping has become a fast and lucrative business, adding that it has now remained the most virulent form of banditry in Nigeria and the most pervasive and intractable violent crime in the country. Attributing the spurt of kidnapping in the country to factors such as corruption, unemployment, poverty, and connivance of security agents, Onyewuchi lamented that the frequency at which persons are kidnapped daily puts most Nigerians at risk. Kidnapping is on the increase in Nigeria, so he said, and it is prevalent across all geopolitical zones. Some blame the rise of this criminal activity on poverty, religion, politics, deficiency of existing laws, unemployment, connivance of security agents, corruption, and greed, among others. Our unemployed youths are also turning out to kidnapping to get money, that's ransom, as a survival strategy. Whatever the reason, it is most obvious that kidnapping in Nigeria puts everyone at risk, the rich and the poor, old and young, male and female, foreigner or indigenous, expatriate or non-expatriate, traditional ruler and religious leaders, among others. Citing a report compiled by the Financial Times and the United States Global Risk Consultancy in November 2019, the lawmaker noted that Nigeria has the highest rate of kidnaps for ransom of both locals and foreigners in all of Africa, with kidnappers operating in each of its 36 states. According to him, the reason behind payment of ransom is rooted on the fact that people easily identify with individual suffering. However, history has shown that even when ransom or even where ransom is proven to have been paid, the life or safety or safe return of the kidnapped victim may not be guaranteed. He observed that countries like the United States of America and the United Kingdom do not support payment of ransom to kidnappers. According to him, payment of terrorist ransom is illegal under the UK Terrorism Act 2000, while the US adhered to a strict non-concession policy on the payment of ransom, Onyewuchi pointed out. He also advised that the continuous payment of ransom must not be encouraged. In addition, government should provide adequate security and strengthen the economy as a matter of urgency, accelerate its poverty alleviation program, provide employment opportunities targeting youths who are mostly involved in abduction and kidnapping, strengthening our law enforcement agencies and providing the necessary support to end the menace of kidnapping. The Terrorism Prevention / Amendment Bill 2021, after scaling second reading, was referred by the Senate President Ahmed Lawan to the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters for further legislative work. The committee, which is chaired by Senator Michael Opeyemi Bamidele, is expected to report back in 4 weeks. Meanwhile, the two separate bills seeking to establish the Federal University of Science and Technology, Lao, Taraba State, and to amend the Federal University of Technology Act 2004 also passed second reading on Wednesday. The bills are sponsored by Senator Shaibu Issa Taraba North and Oyelola Isi Ashiru. Both bills were referred by the Senate President to the Committee on Tertiary Institution and Tech Fund for further work. The committee was also given 4 weeks to turn in its report to the Senate. This is interesting, and I like to look at a lot of things here. Number one, for me, I feel this is not necessary now. It is absolutely not necessary. We have seen cases where numerous people are taken into captive, and for as long as 58 days, some have been there for as long as 3 months, the security agencies cannot track where these people are. The only thing we keep hearing is stories. So the issue of bringing this, for me, is like putting the cart before the horse. The main problem here is the weak security system that we have. The main problem here is poverty that is biting hard on the people. The main problem that we have here is poor prosecution of those involved even in the act. The government have not even done enough to protect the people. We don't have a strong, anti-terrorist terrorism group or security that will combat and comb the entirety of the bushes to save any soul. We don't have it. Now look at fairly recently, the children, some university students, who were taken into captive. We waited. And before we know, the parents have to open up that they have even released as much as 60 million naira. They now demanded it should be 100. We don't know what happened because that one, the government did not open up to Nigerians to tell us what actually happened. For me, this bill is, on call for right now. Do the right thing so that this issue of kidnapping can be a thing of the past. We can't even send drones. We don't even have cameras around our environment. In very reasonable environment where security of life and property is the topmost priority of the government. You notice that on the streets, as you are moving, cameras are there. And there are people who are monitoring their camera. So in event of, say, something like this has happened, where did the person, where was the location where he was kidnapped? They'll mention the location. Okay, at what time? He said, by this time, we noticed that he was absent by this time. Immediately, they run to the camera that is covering that environment, and before you know, they begin to screw and check, okay, this is the kind of car, these are the faces of people that were involved in it, and they start tracking it from there. So for now, it should be proper. The first thing that should be done is proper development of our infrastructures. The roads should be perfected. We should make sure that we have enough people on ground as security agents such that the state security also should be created. The state police, they should be created. Whereby even with Mufti or with they litter the whole street, at least for every street, so that they can combat anything like civil issues that are going on. You have those people dotted around so that you can help prevent the issues. Not to just wake up and begin to put penalty measure. If you pay, would the person sit down and watch this person die when he has enough money to pay and rescue the person? This is just, for me, this is not important. Put the things in place, and then you can now, roll this out. We'd like to leave it. Please go to our comment section.